Hey, I'm just gonna do a quick day update stuff I did today. To be honest, most of my days there's usually a bunch of free time, and it's hard for me to count what I did during that free time because there was so much and so plentiful. But today was not one of those days. Fortunately, actually, it wasn't even a bad day. It wasn't even busy and negative. It was just like a day occupied of stuff. So I'm just gonna run through it. First off, since I didn't do the math quiz. I just went to the Adobe event. It wasn't like a career thing. It was just a Adobe Express thing because I think they added a bunch of new features to the app. I think it's like an AI image editing thing. It's really low. It's like 41 in the App Store. So I think they're trying to get more people to just use it because they have a bunch more features. So downloaded the app, got a free tote bag, entered the raffle for Apple headphones. I was really serious about going to this event for some reason. I don't know why. I was just really serious about going to the event, but I did think it gave me a good amount of information about like how many people actually see the communications, the student engagement for certain stuff, just stuff I can use in the future for political purposes or whatever the needs are. From there, got some physics homework done, and then after putting it down, I realized I didn't do proper shopping for my college sophomore year, I guess, because my house burned down, so that's a fun thing. So needed to go get a folder, got a folder in CVS, spent a lot of time there trying to contemplate what I actually need to get. I don't want to spend too much money because just don't like spending a lot of money, especially in CVS because CVS is overpriced. From there, I got some pimples out of the way. By pimples, I mean stuff like small things relatively to my goals, like AWS for the RAG project, the Rio RAG project I needed. I shut it down because I'm not paid anymore. So there's not a need for that. I shut it down. I was looking to get refunds, so went through the refund process. They said, yeah, you're good. Just do some stuff here and there, and got those stuff done. So that was one of the pimples. Another pimple though was that with this whole thing about finding research assistant roles, I planned to head out to the comp sci center where all of the professors are. I said, hey, here's my resume. So I had to do a proper overhaul of my resume, which I haven't done in months. I think I have this arrogance when it comes to my resume that's good enough, and anything someone else says is just like doing too much. I was looking at it today. I was actually not good enough. There was a lot of stuff that did seem wrong. I don't know, I had such an arrogance to it, but I actually did a proper overhaul. Got rid of some stuff that wasn't necessary. I think I have. Maybe it's because my house burned down. I'm becoming less of a material person, but I have less of an attachment to my resume now. So I was able to make the necessary adjustments to that. I forgot to print it out though, so that's something I have to do soon. I should have, because I'll get to that in a second, but actually it wouldn't have mattered anyways, but I'll get to that in a second. Did a proper adjustment of my resume, and then I went to I did some classes, then I went to the Comp Sci Center, which is the Rebate Initiative. Went there to continue searching for the people I'm looking for, so like different professors or master students or grad students, because I'm trying from the research assistant role. Didn't find anyone. Got into a brick wall. Was really down. It wasn't like that bad. It was like I was really getting a headache from so many stuff. And then, thank Lord, I was going to get a caramel cappuccino from downstairs. I actually ran to one of the people who's on my list of people I have to talk to. So I pretended like I didn't know him because that was the only thing I could do in my head at the time. Because like I don't want to come up really weird and say I researched you and everything. So I pretended I didn't know him. So I started small conversations. Like I was doing small talk, and then I introduced myself to him, and then he introduced himself. So I think I didn't really say, okay, do you have a research assistant role open? I did ask him what he does. No, I have an idea of what he does. I couldn't remember exactly, but he did give me a refresher. But I put a name to the face. I think the idea for me right now is that even though a lot of these people I do intend to meet aren't gonna have like some open position, if I can put a name to the face, and if I can put a name to the face, that means if I do more things, great stuff. It's like hearing the name Chukudalo, Chukudalo, Chukudalo. That's a really long name. Now you know who that person is, and once you know who that person is, it becomes more of a subconscious thing. It's like, okay, I have an opportunity because I met that deal a while ago, and he said he likes to do like evaluations in AI or explainable AI, whatever it is. Now let me reach out to him, or if he reaches out to me, I'm like, oh dang, he's memorable. Let me do something with him. So did that. But also another thing I was thinking of, I remember I was talking to, I forgot his name, but I was talking to him and he defended his PhD. I was talking to him and he kind of gave me a rundown of the research thing. And I think it was for Tom Goldstein. But he's still one of the big things for someone like that is like he's most impressed by your work, right? So I was thinking about it logically. Even if I did meet him, the issue would be it wouldn't really do much because like I only have a resume to show him. But I think if I actually have something substantial to show him, that would actually have been more meaningful. Yes, Saptarash me. So he gave me a rundown. And I think what I need to do for some of these people, if I have the time, is to really just look at the most interesting papers to me and implement those papers, right? Because with a lot of research papers, you can implement your code and run it for yourself, have your own insights. I think what that does is twofold. Is one, hey, I actually implemented your research paper. That's a boost to your ego, I guess, or it just seems cool, right? Because you would love to see someone building your work. But two, I get more projects that I can show on my GitHub, and it's like a win-win thing. And I guess three, it's like I can say, hey, now I did this. You know, I'm that guy. I can do stuff you're doing, or not stuff you're doing, but I can at least build on stuff you're doing in some meaningful way. So that happened. From there, after I met the person who was on my list, I found out that Capital One, which is really weird. Capital One was doing an expo downstairs. So I had to change my schedule. I said, okay, I didn't know that about this. So I just went and changed my schedule. I had an online class. I was doing the online class. So I was online waiting to talk to a recruiter. It was a really fun experience. But also another thing that was happening at the same time was that the Code Black is basically like NSB, but for computer science specifically, I think. They were having me, so I stopped in and said, hey, I can't make this meeting because I have class. But back to the Capital One thing, eventually got to talk to one of the recruiters and just like got to ask a couple of questions. They have a Power Day thing where it's like 3 days and 3 interviews in one day, and you have the whole coding assessment. And similar to Roblox, so the way Roblox is broken up is you have the code signal, then you have like the job on-site interview, which is like a bunch of scenarios, and they just say, okay, when would you contact your manager in this scenario? When would you do this? And to be honest, it wasn't very easy. Like I wouldn't even say it was common sense. It was like some of the questions were really tricky. I didn't like it because sometimes I knew like I would have an answer that probably someone else would disagree with, but I would be able to justify, I think. But they have that. That's like their assessment, and then if you pass the assessment, they give you a thumbs up. You go on to the Power Day, and after Power Day, you get to choose your preferences over the different things in the technology field. So maybe something with AI, applied AI, or maybe it's like more data analysis, or maybe software engineering, or maybe cybersecurity, wherever it is. So go and do that. Then after I talked to a recruiter, I actually had to put my name into the computer system or their system. So I had to go into the line again, which is like another 30 minutes. Mind you, I'm running late for class. So did that, said hey to the other recruiter, put my name into the system, then dipped. I went to physics. It was a new professor because the professor for the class is away in Colorado for some conference that they do twice a year. So that was a really fun class. I really love physics. I think maybe it's because it's intro to physics I'm doing it again. But I remember last time I did physics in high school, it was just a really fun time. I don't know if I would love more advanced topics in physics, but I do think it's a fun class. So that was pretty much my day. Now I'm back. Yeah. But yeah, that was pretty much my day. I'm happy. It's going well. What I think what's next is just to get some homework done and then follow up with the research stuff. There was another person, Saparat, I'm forgetting his name, but the person who I had a coffee chat with a couple weeks ago, he gave me one of his students, and I'm going to have a coffee chat with that student on Thursday to get a better idea of how he gets his opportunities and how he tackles research and stuff like that. But yeah, besides that though, I have nothing else to say. So, have a great day.